So in terms of Google Play, we sort of broke this up into two different announcements because Google Play has so many different features, right, as a developer. And if you're making an app, many times, people just sort of like post their apps into Google Play and know that Google's taking a piece of the money and all that stuff, but they don't really know like what is it that needs to happen in order for you to take the most advantage of distributing an app in the Android, in the Google Play Store, right? And how do you begin to put those things together, right? And so when you're publishing, I'm just going to speak to it from the standpoint of a Android developer. But during App Camp, we're actually going to talk about all of the publishing options because we'll have some time. But in this case, I'll just give an example. So when you're an Android developer, this is the Android developer site. For those of you who don't know about the developer universe, every company you want to develop with, every software company has a developer universe. So if you ever want to be a lot more competent in working with your developers, or you want to become a better developer, always go to the developer section of your favorite software provider. So that's the hot tip for today. So with the Google Play console, there are all kinds of features that are actually there. And actually, let me actually reshare and see if we can pull up this actual video here so you guys can use it. So just to talk a little bit about the Google Play console, just to orient everyone about like what happens there. For those of you who are not yet published, let me share this tab. And then we can talk about what happened in 2020 and what's happening in 2021. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Sorry. Okay, so for those of you who are not familiar, this is a little bit about the Google Play console.
Welcome to Google Play Console, where you can share your apps and games with users around the world. But developing and publishing your app is just the beginning. Google Play Console gives you the power to scale, with access to billions of users and the tools to acquire them, like the ability to test the text and graphics of your store listing to drive more installs. Play Console also gives you the freedom to iterate. Our testing tools and pre-launch reports help you identify issues before they affect your users, so you can release with confidence. Allow your users to beta test new and exciting features, and then roll them out in stages to ensure a safe launch. You'll be able to make data-driven decisions with access to unique insights, such as exclusive metrics about your app and what your users are saying through reviews and ratings. Play Console keeps everything top of mind in one place. You'll receive important information in your Play Console inbox and can monitor your app's policy status so you can stay compliant. If you need help using Play Console, additional information is just a click or two away. Thanks for choosing Google Play and being a part of our community. Apps built by you, powered by us, experienced by billions.
Awesome. So there's tons of information that's out there about the Google Play console that we encourage you, and we'll send some links out about that. But there's awesome data that's available. Again, that our favorite word, right? Data. There's awesome data that's available out there from the platform that gives you all of your vitals, all your reviews, the performance of your app, right? These are all things that are heavily affect your marketing and sales of your app and how it's designed. So one of the things we go through is like the roadmap of, okay, what's your first version, what's your second version, what's your third version, what are the user journeys, right? And then, there are some things that you can do to optimize your apps for better experiences on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. And so you want to make sure you have all of these things in order to do that. There are ways around that, right? And so that's the last topic for today, which is called progressive web apps. And progressive web apps are how you skip all this stuff. And also you can still publish on the platforms as well. So it's a really interesting way to look at it. But if you're publishing what's called a native app, an app that is directly going to be distributed on Android or on iOS only, then you want to make sure you understand each of the Google Play consoles and abilities and things that are important to drive the most sales, the most marketing for your products, and make sure you do the best job in getting to your customers and keeping them happy. So the one thing that I'll go over when it comes to Google Play. So let's talk a little bit more about what's new in what happened in 2020, right? So the biggest thing in 2020 was the whole experience for the Google Play Store actually started with all these new features, right? So I'm going to play just a tiny bit of some of the new features that actually happened in 2020, and then we'll talk about 2021. Give me 1 second. And then if you want to look up any of these yourself, you can look up what's new in Google Play in YouTube, and it'll talk about all the different aspects of what you can do to publish in Google Play and optimize that, and then what you can expect in terms of value, right? So like, what are you paying that 30% for, right? And actually, what I forgot to announce is they're actually, for the first $1 million in revenue, I believe the fees have been cut in half officially as of this month. So if you haven't earned enough revenue, then you only pay 15% for distributing in the Google Play Store now. Okay, so let's play a little bit of this.
Latest features and developments in Google Play to help you make the most of our platform. Our team's mission is to help users connect with your amazing digital experiences. In the last 12 months, we've seen 116 billion downloads of the apps and games that you created, enjoyed by over 2.5 billion people in more than 190 countries around the world. That's a tremendous achievement, but we're not going to stop there. So today, I'm going to talk about all the ways we're working to power that success even further. I'm going to start by talking about our investment in helping you reach and engage your users. Then I'll talk about the Android app bundle, including a quick look at adoption so far and where we're headed next. I'll talk about improvements we've made to help you test and distribute your games on Google Play. And then finally, I'm going to unveil something our teams have been hard at work on, a new Play console that I think you're really going to like. I'm saving the best for last, but if you really can't wait, feel free to jump ahead. Timestamps for all the sections are listed in the video description below. Before we jump in, I wanted to take a moment to put these improvements in context. Developers can only be successful on Google Play as long as users trust the platform. That's why we built tools like Google Play Protect, which scans over 100 billion apps every day, and last year prevented more than 1.9 billion malware installs from non-Play sources. It's also why we've developed privacy-first policies with strict permission controls, and why we review every app and game for compliance. But we know that simply providing a trustworthy platform.
So I'm actually going to pause here and say, you notice that they say they scan the code, right? And there's compliance. So you want to make sure, one of the reasons why, working with platforms like Flutter and working directly with the Android platforms versus some more custom development from different developers all over the world that don't necessarily use these tools, you can run into issues when you publish on Google Play or on the App Store if you don't meet compliance when they scan your code. So you want to be careful about the types of development you're doing and your ability to scale by the types of code that you use.
For your apps and games is not enough. That's why we're also creating new programs and features to help users discover and stay engaged with your apps and games. In the last few months, we've made more progress to help you capture an even wider audience. Google Play Points, our user rewards program, recently launched in Hong Kong and Taiwan. We're continuing to invest in Play Pass, our curated subscription service, with plans to expand globally later this year. And we've just launched Teacher Approved to help parents find kid-friendly apps and games for their families. A major part of reaching users is the ability to transact with them. With Google Play Billing, we want to help you convert users into buyers. Our commerce platform reaches over 2 billion people in 150 plus countries with over 180 carriers worldwide. And in the past year, we added 60 new local forms of payments in 15 countries. In addition to providing options for different ways to monetize and sell, Google Play Billing also gives you the tools to optimize your selling experience and make it effortless, so that you can focus on building a great user experience. If you want to learn more about recent improvements we made to our commerce platform, be sure to check out the What's New in Google Play Billing session as well. The link to this session is in the video description below. And speaking of scale, our other major focus area this year was the Android App Bundle. The App Bundle is our vision for modern app distribution, and we've been so excited to see so many of you using it already. By decreasing your app size, the App Bundle has helped thousands of developers increase their install rate, especially in countries where device storage is at a premium. In fact, 1 in 3 apps in production on Google Play right now is published with the Android App Bundle. That's about an 800% increase from this time last year, and adoption is growing daily. Recently, we've seen adoption from major developers like Adobe, eBay, and UC Browser, and there are more new partners every day. In the last few months, we've rolled out lots of improvements and next-generation features based on your feedback. For example, the new App Bundle Explorer in the Play console helps you understand how Play optimizes your app and lets you download relevant files and assets. You can get an install link for any version you've ever published on Play for testing purposes, and you can also download Play-signed APKs for pre-installing on real devices. We've also expanded the App Bundle for games by introducing Google Play Asset Delivery, which offers free dynamic delivery of game assets. It allows you to package all your assets alongside your game binary and let Play handle the asset delivery for you. It also offers customizable delivery modes, auto updates, and smart targeting options. It replaces the need to use expansion files, which will be deprecated soon. Our early adopters like Gameloft are reporting great download performance worldwide, as well as substantial increase in the number of users retained. As we continue to improve the App Bundle, we expect it to become a requirement for all new apps sometimes in 2021. So if you haven't made the switch yet, now is a great time to do so. Play Asset Delivery is only one of the many updates we've made to help you improve your...
All right. So today we're not going to go over games. That's a whole nother ball game. But if you're actually building a game, let us know. We can definitely address that more if you join App Camp or in other kinds of opportunities. So there's just tons and tons of opportunities around games, but we won't go there today. Any questions before we move into progressive web apps? It's our final topic for the day.